So today let us start with a demo of SAP BW.
Okay.
So hope you can see my screen.
Yes. Microsoft Excel sheet.
Correct. Yeah. So first point is what is SAP, and the full form of SAP is Systems Applications,
Okay.
Systems Applications and Products
Okay.
for data processing. So this is the full form of SAP,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
which they started in the year 1971.
Okay.
And it's a German-based software company owned by, I think, initially started by three IBMers. Those guys were ex-employees of IBM, and they
Uh-huh.
started this SAP in the year 1971.
Okay.
And next point I want to highlight here is when they came to the market in 1971, they
Mm-hmm.
started with a package called SAP R1. So this
Okay.
is the initial software they came to the they came into the market,
Mm-hmm.
SAP R1 system. So
Okay.
R1 stands for real-time one-tier architecture. So R1 stands for real-time one-tier architecture.
Okay.
So one-tier stands for in those days, like there were no three-tier architectures like application layer, presentation layer, and database layer. So those three things
Uh-huh.
were there in only one single. I mean, in what we can say is those three activities like presentation and also processing and also data storing. Everything will be in under one server. Not we cannot say one server. It will be taken care only by one process. But
Okay.
right now, current architectures are three-tier architectures, like three-tier layers. Like
Okay.
application layer is separate, presentation layer is separate, database layer is separate. That means three different processes will be there, which will take care of each and every activity. So that
Okay.
means if a user execute a SQL statement for
Mm.
to see the data, so then
Uh-huh.
system will process that request by the application layer, and it will
Okay.
retrieve the data from the database layer, and it will present it in the presentation layer. So there are three
Okay.
different layers now. But earlier, when they started in the 1971, so the technology was not that improved. So the system
Mm-hmm.
was only one tier architecture in those days.
Okay.
So what is the purpose of this R1 system which they have introduced in 1971? So in a typical
Mm-hmm.
manufacturing industry, there will be different business processes like sales and distribution, material management, finance, controlling, HR, etc. That means if
Okay.
I go to a manufacturing industry called Britannia, there will be a purchase of raw material like wheat, sugar, chemicals, etc. And at the same time, there will be production of biscuits. So
Mm-hmm.
production of biscuits is nothing but a production business process.
Mm-hmm.
Purchasing of raw material comes under procurement business process, and
Mm-hmm.
selling that finished product biscuit is nothing but a sales.
Mm-hmm.
So to do all these activities, again we need the workforce. So recruitment comes under HR,
Mm-hmm.
and to maintain these
Okay.
business process on the top, we need finance. So we need money. So that will
Mm-hmm.
be taken care by the finance business process. So if we go to the typical manufacturing industry, there will be different business process like
Mm-hmm.
sales, material management. In that we will have again two subcategories. Like the one is procurement or purchasing. Number two is inventory management. That means
Okay.
stock management. Once we purchase
Mm-hmm.
the raw material or once the finished product is done, so how much stock we need to maintain, all those things will comes under stock management. So there are different business process in a manufacturing industry. So using
Okay.
this R1 system, which they have introduced in 1971, a customer can perform a transactions related to sales and distribution and material management.
Okay.
That means if a customer has given an order, that order can be created in R1 system.
Okay.
So that order can be created in R1 system, and if there is any purchase of raw material, then a purchase order can be created using R1 system. So in short,
Okay.
using R1 system, a customer can perform a business transactions related to sales and distribution, material management. That is the
Okay.
first objective of this R1. So during their journey till now, they came up with different versions like R2 system. So again, R2 stands for a real-time two-tier architecture. So that means here we have one presentation layer, the process will be there, and application and the database processing will be done by one process. Okay. So they came up with R2 system, and as the time goes on, as they came up with different releases, different versions, they are increasing this business process. That means initially they started with SD and MM. Later on they came up with different business process like this. So that means finance business process, finance transactions can be performed using R2, and HR transactions can be performed using R2. Okay. And after that they came up with R3 system, which is again
What is it, CO?
controlling. So in finance, finance will be always followed by controlling in the real world. So because in the general business terms, everyone knows about finance, but no one will be aware of controlling.
Okay.
Okay, finance will be for stakeholders purpose. That means for public issues. Say if I want to go for IPO, or if I want to go for a share market, I need to present my profit and loss or balance sheet statement to the public. Then only they will come to know how my company is performing. And also for the government also, I need to give the taxes, right? So all those things will be taken care under finance.
Okay.
Controlling is for within the company. For my company purpose, the controlling transactions will be performed.
Okay.
So under controlling, there will be so many things like cost center accounting, profit center accounting, and also product costing, etc. Say, I want to go with a new product into the market. So how much will be the product cost? So all those things will be done in the controlling.
Okay.
So if I know the product cost, then I can go with what will be the price of each and every piece of that product when I am selling into the market. So next one, what I am saying is R3 system. It's a real-time three-tier architecture. Real-time three-tier architecture. Okay. So here also they added few more modules like SD, MM, FICO, PP, PM, QM, and so on. So PP stands for production planning, PM stands for plant maintenance, QM stands for quality management. So now in R3 they came up with different versions like R3 4.6. Next they came up with R3 4.7. So these are the different versions in R3. Now the current version available in the market is ECC 7.0. So prior to ECC 7.0, there were different versions like 6.0 and also 5.0. So the purpose of all these systems, whatever they have introduced in the year 1971, is to perform the day-to-day transactions related to their business process. That is the purpose of this system. That means client can log into SAP ECC system, and they can create a purchase order, and they can create a sales order, and they can create a finance transaction, or they can go with a production order, they can go with a plant maintenance document. So that means they can say I'm having a business where I am going to do some sales transactions production transactions, finance transactions, and the purchasing transactions. The same thing I can log into SAP ECC and I can perform the same transactions here also.
Mm-hmm.
Coming to what is the purpose of performing these transactions in SAP ECC. The purpose of it
Mm-hmm.
is different business processes were tightly integrated in SAP ECC system. So that
Mm-hmm.
so far you understand what I'm trying to say. In a business,
Yeah.
if I go to any manufacturing industry, there will be different business process. Like sales will be there, finance will
Mm-hmm.
be there, HR will be
Uh-huh.
there, etc. So
Yeah.
whatever they are doing the transactions in the industry, I can do the same
Mm-hmm.
transactions in SAP ECC system as well. So what makes the
Okay.
difference
Uh-huh.
between a transaction performing in ECC and a transaction performing normally in Excel or on a piece of paper? Here,
Mm-hmm.
if I perform a transaction in SAP ECC, since different business processes were tightly integrated in SAP ECC system, the entire
Uh-huh.
business will be automated. Say
Uh-huh.
if I perform a sales transaction, so what is a sales transaction? The customer has raised, hi Hari, I need some 50 kgs of biscuit. This is the order I received from a customer.
Okay.
Then what I have to
Uh-huh.
do, before I need to do a delivery, I need to check whether
Uh-huh.
warehouse is having that 50 kg of biscuit or not.
Okay.
So in the warehouse, I am
You need
having
to check what?
I need to check in the warehouse whether 50 kg biscuit is ready or not,
Ah. Oh, okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
So in
Okay.
the warehouse 50 kg of
Uh-huh.
biscuit is available, so I will do a delivery to my customer. So once 50 kg has
Yes.
been
Okay.
delivered to my customer, once it's not delivered, it's dispatched. So it's dispatched to the
Okay.
customer, then automatically the
Mm-hmm.
stock in my warehouse should be reduced to zero.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Am I correct? Because
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
50 now, I dispatch
Uh-huh.
50, so
Okay.
my warehouse stock should become zero.
Yes.
So this kind of automation is
Uh-huh.
possible in SAP ECC system.
Okay.
So if I get a new order for another
Uh-huh.
10 kg of biscuit, I cannot do
Uh-huh.
straight away dispatch because in the system I
Yeah.
can see the outstanding stock available, which is zero. Then I can
Yeah.
immediately raise a red flag to the production department.
Yeah.
Generally, it is not going to happen because production department will have their own estimations like what is the daily sales and how much we need to keep a product ready. I'm just giving you an example, uh, like how the automation is going to happen in SAP ECC system. So
Okay.
that means if any for any sales order, if delivery
Uh-huh.
is done, then
Uh,
automatically the stock will be reduced.
yeah.
So if the stock is getting reduced means when we are using a stock that comes under a
Mm-hmm.
business process called material management.
Okay.
When we are talking about stock, that stock management is nothing but a part of material management.
Uh-huh.
So when we are doing a sales transaction,
Uh-huh.
automatically system is working on a stock. That means sales
Uh-huh.
and material management were integrated here.
Yeah.
So that is the specialty of SAP ECC system.
Okay.
So point one to be noted here is in SAP ECC system, different business process. Okay, first point is a customer can perform.
Uh,
Yeah, please.
voice is breaking. Yeah. Voice is no.
Is it fine now?
It's yeah. It's fine now. But
Sometimes, yeah,
it's fine
sometimes.
for some time, and then it's taking. Uh-huh.
So sometimes there will be a slight jerk for I think
Oh,
10
okay.
seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So coming back in SAP using SAP ECC system, client can perform different
Yeah.
business transactions related to different business process. Point number one. Point number two. What is
Okay.
the advantage of performing the transactions in SAP ECC system? Here is Different in
Uh-huh.
SAP ECC, different business process like sales, material
Uh-huh.
management, finance were tightly integrated. That means
Uh-huh.
if I perform a transaction related to sales, that is going to have an impact
Uh-huh.
on another business process like material management. That is going to have an
Uh-huh.
impact on finance as well, because if I'm selling the goods to the
Uh-huh.
customer, then finance department guys should receive
Uh-huh.
some kind of alert saying that they need to generate an invoice and send it to the customer so that they can collect the money.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So in SAP ECC, why SAP, let me say like this, I just explained you like what using SAP ECC, what a customer can do. Then what is the advantage of doing a
Mm-hmm.
transaction in SAP ECC? Then I want to highlight one
Mm-hmm.
third point. SAP is very famous in this world because of SAP ECC system.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is no other ERP, or SAP ECC comes under Enterprise Resource Planning package. There
Mm-hmm.
is no ERP package in this world
Okay.
which is famous like SAP ECC,
Mm-hmm.
because there is no
Mm-hmm.
ERP package in this world where the integration is successful. I'll
Mm-hmm.
repeat, SAP ECC is very famous in this world because of tight integration between the business process.
Okay.
There are other ERP packages available in the market like Oracle Apps, PeopleSoft, CBEL CRM, etc.
Uh-huh.
JD Edwards. There are so many competitors available in the market, but those ERPs are not that successful because
Mm-hmm.
those business process those business process integration is not successful. That means Oracle Apps is also an ERP package where a customer can perform a business transactions like sales or production planning, etc. using
Mm-hmm.
Oracle Apps as well. But
Okay.
when we talk about integration between different business process, in Oracle
Uh-huh.
Apps, it's not successful, it's failed.
Okay.
So that is the reason why uh, so far, if you observe, we haven't discussed about SAP BW. So we are talking
Okay.
about what they have introduced in the year 1971 and what is the
Uh-huh.
current version of it.
Uh-huh.
That's a discussion what have happened so far.
Yeah.
Okay, and please remember, SAP is very famous in this world because of ECC system. It is not because
Mm-hmm.
of HANA or not because of BW.
Okay.
It is because of ECC system, because majority of the customers, say if I say 40,000 customers who
Uh-huh.
are using SAP ECC, sorry SAP,
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
most of them are using SAP ECC only.
Okay.
There is no customer in this world who is
Uh-huh.
who is not using SAP ECC and using only HANA system or BW system.
Okay.
So if any customer is using BW or HANA means, please
Uh-huh.
come to a conclusion they are already using SAP ECC to
Uh-huh.
automate their business process.
Okay.
Any questions?
No. Go ahead.
Okay. So I have used a word called ERP. So
Mm-hmm.
SAP ECC is a ERP package. ERP
Mm-hmm.
stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. So ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning.
Mm-hmm.
So hope you are clear about what a customer will do using SAP ECC, point number one.
Mm-hmm.
Then point number two is what is the advantage of performing a transaction using SAP ECC, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll
Mm-hmm.
repeat, SAP ECC will be used by the customer to perform their day-to-day transactions related to
Mm-hmm.
different business process.
Okay.
Point number two, advantage
Mm-hmm.
of using SAP ECC is different business process like sales, material management, finance, controlling, etc. were tightly integrated. What is the
Mm-hmm.
meaning of integration here is,
Uh-huh.
if I perform a transaction related to sales, the impact
Uh-huh.
that will automatically reflect in material management. That will automatically reflect in finance, and that means system will
Uh-huh.
automatically notify finance department saying that delivery is done, then
Uh-huh.
raise the invoice.
Yeah.
So that means system will automatically create a transactions. System will automatically create a
Mm-hmm.
transaction. Say once
Mm-hmm.
dispatch of material is done to the delivery, then system is going to generate a
Mm-hmm.
some open request to the finance department. So finance department,
Okay.
let me show you. Finance department will log into SAP ECC system. So this is the SAP logon pad. This is a GUI which will be used
Uh-huh.
by the customers also to log
Uh,
into ECC. So here we are having in the logon
okay.
pad BI7, that is nothing but a BW system, and this is SAP ECC
Uh-huh.
system. So everyday
Okay.
users will log into this system using their own user ID and password,
Uh-huh.
and they will create the sales orders, purchase orders, etc. So
Okay.
for every business process, if I want to create a sales order for every
Uh,
transaction, SAP has
uh-huh.
given a specific T code.
Okay.
Say if I want to display a purchase order, I mean I have already created a purchase order. I want to display a
Uh-huh.
purchase order. For that, the T
Uh-huh.
code will be VA01. I want to create a
Okay.
purchase order. Then further the T code
Uh,
will be ME23N. Like that, for every transaction, SAP has
uh-huh.
given a specific T codes.
Okay.
Say here, if we won't remember that anyway, it's too early for us. But anyway, just to
Mhm.
give you an idea, if I want to create a sales
Mhm.
order or a purchase order, I will run. If you see in the left hand top left corner, I just entered ME23N.
Uh-huh.
So that is the place where users will give a transaction code. If you see in the status bar, start of application, display
Uh-huh.
purchase order. So that means it is going, this T code whatever I have entered, that is to display a purchase order, not to create a purchase order.
Mhm.
Okay. So here they will, I mean, let me go to enter T code, ME21. So this is creation of purchase order screen. Here they will select vendor. Say whenever we are procuring a raw material means there will be a list of vendors already. So they are going to select vendor, and also they are going to select material and how much quantity they need, and they will save it.
Mhm.
So only to give you an idea, like in SAP ECC, so I logged
Mhm.
into SAP ECC, point number one. Point number two, I'm going to create a purchase order. So to create a purchase order, I have used a
Mhm.
T code. Okay, so we don't need to remember all these T codes, but
Okay.
these are all the business T codes. Like the
Uh,
users who are using SAP ECC system, they need to know all those T codes,
uh-huh.
because if, the
Okay.
purpose of this SAP ECC is to run to run the business.
Uh-huh.
Okay, to run the business. That means they will log into SAP ECC and they will perform all their day-to-day transaction. What they were doing earlier,
Uh-huh.
prior to SAP ECC, they are going to do the same thing in SAP ECC.
Uh-huh.
Hope you understand.
Uh-huh.
That means they were
Yeah.
already doing the
Mhm.
business. Okay, so they want to automate their
Yeah.
business transactions using SAP ECC. So once the SAP
Uh-huh.
ECC has been implemented, then customers are going to use SAP ECC system to perform their day-to-day transactions. So whatever their old process,
Okay.
whatever they were following, they are not going to use it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So very simple. First point, what we need to remember here is, so okay,
Mm-hmm.
SAP has started in the year 1971,
Uh-huh.
and they started with R1 system. Using
Uh-huh.
R1 system, a customer can perform a transactions related to sales and material management. That's it.
Uh, okay.
And they came
Yeah.
up with different versions during their journey as of now. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And as of now, the current version is an ECC 7.0.
7. Uh-huh.
ECC 7.0. They
Okay.
renamed. So initially they started with R1, and after that R2, R3, etc. Now they
Mm-hmm.
have renamed it as ECC. If I go back to R3, R3 stands for what I have mentioned, real-time three-tier architecture.
Okay.
So hope you are aware of client-server architecture. So
Yeah.
there will be a client, there will be a server, correct? Earlier, client and server will not be separate. It will be only one single piece. Now it's a client
Okay.
and server. That means whatever we are doing, see here, whatever we are using, this is a client, right?
Okay.
This is a graphical
Uh-huh.
user interface where we are performing their transactions. But server will
What
be
is client?
somewhere else. So this is
Uh,
the client.
okay.
So
Uh-huh.
we will call it as a graphical user interface. So from here, I'm getting into SAP ECC or BW system. But server
Uh-huh.
is not in my laptop, but that will be there somewhere in US or somewhere in the UK, because
Okay.
as per the customer location. But from here,
Sure.
I'm able to connect. So this is the
Yeah.
client, and server will be
Uh-huh.
somewhere. So
Uh-huh.
so by the time they get into R3 system, it will be client server architecture, and
Uh-huh.
the version they started I think 4.6, and after that they came up with 4.7c as well. Then
Uh-huh.
they renamed it into ECC.
Okay.
ECC full form is Enterprise Central Components. Enterprise Central Components.
Central component. Okay.
Enterprise Central Components. R3 full form
Okay.
is Real-Time Three-Tier Architecture. So three-tier
Real time.
architecture means application layer, presentation layer, and database layer, right? So
Okay.
that's a client
Uh-huh.
server architecture. Then what is the meaning of this real time?
Yeah.
So what is the real time?
Real time is live.
Live, exactly. So that means
Yeah.
a customer can log into R3 system,
Uh-huh.
and they
Uh-huh.
can create a sales order, and they can
Uh-huh.
see it immediately.
Okay.
So that means I created a sales order in SAP ECC system, and I can see the transaction immediately. So that means I can see
Uh-huh.
it live immediately. So that's why
Okay.
it's a real-time system,
Uh-huh.
because the transaction is not coming into SAP ECC from nowhere, from somewhere. It is they are
Yeah.
creating the
Uh-huh.
transaction in that system, and they can see it immediately. That's why it's a live system.
Okay.
So that's why it is a real-time data. That means they can
Yeah.
post the transaction and they can see it immediately.
Okay.
Post and see. So that's why
Yeah.
it is called as a real-time system. So SAP
Yeah.
ECC system is a real-time. Initially, that's why the name was R3, R1, 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 R2, R3. R stands for real-time. So that means a live.
Okay.
So
Uh-huh.
clear. So R1 system is the initial version. Current version is ECC
Uh-huh.
7.0. So the purpose of
Okay.
ECC is to perform the day-to-day transactions.
Uh-huh.
And
Okay.
one more point to highlight here is why SAP ECC is very famous in this world, or why SAP is very famous in this world. It's because of ECC system. Because
Okay.
in SAP ECC, different business process like sales, material
Uh-huh.
management, etc.
Uh-huh.
were tightly
Uh-huh.
integrated.
Okay.
Means if I perform a transaction related to sales, impact will
Uh-huh.
be on other business process automatically.
Okay. Right. Okay.
So that is the advantage of SAP ECC. So
Okay.
SAP ECC is an ERP package, enterprise resource planning.
Uh, uh-huh.
Other ERPs,
Uh-huh.
ERPs available in the market
Uh-huh.
are Oracle Labs.
Uh-huh.
Hope you might have heard this Oracle Labs.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Jerry Edwards,
Uh-huh.
PeopleSoft,
Okay.
Siebel,
Uh-huh.
etc.
I heard one more thing. Flat files. Is that related here or
Flat
it's
files is
completely
nothing
different?
but Excel or Notepad.
Okay. Okay. No, is that can be listed here under no,
No,
Arc
no.
Labs kind of no.
Flat
Uh-huh.
files is just a
Uh-huh.
file system. It's
Okay.
not a ERP package.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
Whenever we are talking about ERP package, one of the
Uh-huh.
different there should be a business process.
Okay.
So if you talk about a notepad or a flat file, it's just a normal Excel sheet, right? So we cannot do
Uh-huh.
anything there other than
Okay.
by maintaining the data and performing some calculations.
Okay.
But when it comes to ERP, we can perform a transactions related to some business process.
Okay.
Here,
Yeah, we can perform.
transactions related to some business process like this,
Okay. Uh-huh.
like sales or material management, finance or controlling
Okay.
or HR, etc. Fine.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
these are also the ERP packages available in the market, but
Mm-hmm.
but 90 let me say like this, 70% of the ERP market is captured by SAP ECC. 70% of the
Yeah.
ERP market captured by SAP ECC system as of now. Remaining 30% has
Okay.
been shared by these ERP packages as of now, current market situation.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Why SAP has
Oh.
captured 70%? Why only 30% has been captured by these ERP packages? Because
Mm-hmm.
the reason I have highlighted already, I'll repeat. The reason is different business
Mm-hmm.
processes were not tightly integrated in these ERP packages.
Okay.
Different business processes were not tightly integrated in these ERP packages. If I
Okay.
talk about only a business process called finance, if I
Uh-huh.
talk about a business process called finance,
Uh-huh.
Oracle Labs is the best one. If I talk about only finance, that means if I talk about uh, HSBC Bank, then there. Hello, you able to hear me, right? Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, one second. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So what I was saying is, in the
Uh-huh.
current market, these are the different ERP packages available. But
Uh-huh.
as per the current market share,
Uh-huh.
70% has been captured by SAP ECC. 70% has been captured by
Okay.
SAP ECC,
Uh-huh.
and remaining 30% has been shared by these. The reason is the integration between the different business process. That means uh, in
Uh-huh.
SAP ECC, different business processes were tightly integrated and it is proved successfully. So that means
Uh-huh.
customers can use it, and there is no impact, there is no loss of business. But
Uh-huh.
in these ERP packages, that
Uh-huh.
integration was not successfully implemented. That's the reason
Okay.
why. That's the reason why these
Uh-huh.
all together has captured only
Uh-huh.
30% of ERP market. Next point I want to highlight is
Sorry, captured only what?
only 30% of the ERP market. Say if we are having 100
No,
customers in
your
the market,
voice.
uh,
Uh-huh.
is it audible now?
Yes. Yeah, can you just repeat what you said?
Okay. So as of now, let us say we have 100 customers in the market who are using ERP packages. Out of
Uh-huh.
them, 70% are using SAP ECC, only 30% are using these ERP packages
Uh-huh.
altogether. The reason behind
Okay.
that is in SAP ECC, different business process integration was successfully implemented, but in this business
Uh-huh.
process, that integration was not that successful
Okay. Because?
because I mean the technology
Okay.
is not that I mean the softwares they have
Okay.
so they
Uh-huh.
are unable to meet that requirements whatever they have. That means say for
Mm-hmm.
example if a sales transaction has been performed, so it has to
Uh-huh.
have an impact on the stock, because once the dispatch
Okay.
has been done, the stock has to be
Uh,
reduced compulsory. So those
okay.
things were not successfully implemented in Oracle apps or in any
Okay.
of these. But
Sure.
when we
Uh-huh.
talk about one business process,
Uh-huh.
ignoring the integration part, if I talk
Uh-huh.
about only a business process called finance,
Uh-huh.
Oracle Apps is the best.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So, if I talk about only HR,
Uh-huh.
forgetting
It,
about integration part,
yeah.
PeopleSoft is the best. If I
Got you.
talk about
Okay. Uh-huh.
customer relationship management, then
Uh-huh.
Siebel is the best. Like
Right.
that, if I
Okay.
talk about individual business process, these
Uh-huh.
these have their own importance. But when we
Got
talk
okay.
about integration,
Uh-huh.
the answer will be SAP ECC.
Okay. So these all will be integrated in this SAP ECC.
Yeah, I mean
And
Oracle apps also try to do the integration.
uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Still, the integration part, that means whatever business transactions we are performing in SAP ECC,
Uh-huh.
same thing can be done in Oracle apps also, because in Oracle apps also we have finance, we have sales and distribution, we have procurement, all those things. But
Okay.
integration is not successful.
Right. Okay.
Okay. But when we talk about only a business process called finance,
Uh-huh.
say if I talk about a banking industry, so if we go for HSBC Bank, so
Uh-huh.
90% of their transactions will be finance transactions. So
Yeah.
for those kind of
Yeah.
industries like business industries or sorry banking sector or
Uh-huh.
insurance sector or
Uh-huh.
finance sector, then Oracle
Mm-hmm.
Labs is the best one.
Okay.
When we talk about a manufacturing sector, then
Uh-huh.
SAP ECC is the best one, because in
Uh-huh.
manufacturing sector there will be multiple business
Uh,
process where
yeah.
integration is mandatory.
Yeah.
Then only they can automate it. If they are
Sure.
unable to automate their business process using ERP, then there is no
Uh-huh.
point of spending crores of money while implementing these ERP packages.
Okay.
So that's why current ERP
Mm-hmm.
market has been 70% has been captured by SAP ECC, because
Mm-hmm.
every customer who want an ERP, their main objective is they want to automate their business process
Okay.
successfully. That
Mm-hmm.
automation of n number of business process can be done only by SAP ECC system.
Okay.
So
Oh
far
no, you're saying automation, right? What is that automation? What exactly is automated?
automation, that means say if
Uh-huh.
I logged into SAP ECC.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So before I create a purchase order, generally say I
Uh-huh.
belongs to a production department. I'm not a purchasing department guy. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Let me say give you another example.
Yeah.
Material requirement planning.
Mm-hmm.
So in shortcut of it is MRP.
Mm-hmm.
So material requirement planning.
Mm-hmm.
I am a production guy.
Mm-hmm.
I want to manufacture some 100 kgs of biscuit.
Mm-hmm.
So what I will do, on a piece of paper, I will first of all make a note
Mm-hmm.
for making of 100 kg of biscuit. Let us
Mm-hmm.
say I need some 70 kg of wheat flour.
Okay.
70 kg of wheat flour.
Yeah.
Then I may say like some 50 kgs of biscuit. Sorry, 50 kg of sugar,
Okay.
and I will say some 50 or 70 liters of water,
Uh-huh.
and some 1 liter chemical or resins,
Mm-hmm.
because we need preservatives, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
so
Yeah.
1 kg of chemicals or preservatives. So like that,
Mm-hmm.
on a piece of paper, I am going to calculate,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will go to warehouse
Uh-huh.
to check whether all these raw materials are available or not. Or I will give a call to the warehouse guy to check whether
Uh-huh.
this much raw material is available or not. Okay.
Yeah.
So if he says
Mm-hmm.
only 50 kg of wheat flour is available,
Uh-huh.
then what I will do, I need to create a purchase order.
Uh-huh.
I need to create a purchase requisition. Sorry, not purchase order, purchase requisition. I am requesting to purchase something. I am requesting purchase department. I am requesting purchase department to purchase something. That is called as a purchase requisition. So in that
Okay.
purchase requisition, I will mention 50 kg of wheat. Okay. So
Yeah.
then I need to inform that purchase department guy, boss, I need some 50 kg of wheat flour. Then he will say, okay, create a purchase requisition. Then that will be created and it will be notified to my purchase department guy, right? So
Okay.
purchase department person, what he is going to do, he is going to create a
Uh-huh.
purchase order, and
Uh-huh.
it will be faxed. It will be faxed to vendor.
Okay.
So vendor again delivers the goods, delivery of goods from the vendor,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
from the vendor, and it has to be notified. It will be notified to production department. So whatever
Okay.
the raw material they requested, it is available, right?
Okay.
So that means
Mm-hmm.
here, what is happening? Starting from, I have a plan of manufacturing something. For
Yeah.
that, manually on a piece of paper, I calculated. Then
Uh-huh.
I have given a call to the warehouse department, like
Uh-huh.
how much raw material is available. Since
Uh-huh.
there is a surplus of raw material, then I created a purchase requisition, and
Mm-hmm.
I have given a call to the purchase department guy. That guy has
Uh-huh.
created a purchase order, and then he has sent it to the vendor, and
Okay.
then vendor has delivered the goods, and again it will be again notified back to our purchase department guy,
Okay.
so that he can start manufacturing,
Yep.
right? But in
Yeah.
using, this is all manual process where it is going to take minimum 1 day,
Yeah.
1 day to complete all these activities. But
Yep.
in SAP ECC there is a tool called material requirement planning.
Okay.
So if there are certain T codes, like whatever I have shown you, the T code ME21N is to create a purchase order.
Uh-huh.
Same way, there is a tool called material requirement planning which can be accessible using a T code.
Uh-huh.
And by going into the tool, I just give an input called 100 kg of biscuit I need.
Okay.
Then automatically system is going to perform how much raw
Uh-huh.
material is required, and that means system is going to
Oh.
perform the
Okay.
calculation automatically. How much raw
Okay.
material is required to manufacture 100 kg of biscuit, and at the
Okay.
same time parallelly, once this calculation is done, it will go
Uh-huh.
and check in the warehouse whether that raw
Uh,
material is available or not. If there is a surplus of raw material, then it is going
okay.
to create a purchase requisition automatically.
Uh, okay.
Then this purchase department guy will be notified that you got some open purchase requisitions. Then
Okay.
based on that open purchase requisition, he is going to create a purchase order and save. So
Uh-huh.
in the purchase order
Uh-huh.
configuration, if a
Uh-huh.
fax, if it is automatic, it will be 90% automated. Then
Uh-huh.
vendor will receive a fax automatically.
Okay.
Then based on the, once vendor receives the facts, he is going to deliver
Uh-huh.
the goods. That means
Okay.
the entire activity which we have spent one day to
Uh-huh.
do all these activities manually, using
Uh-huh.
SAP ECC we can do it in 1 minute.
Yeah.
So that is the, I mean, I just given one example of automation. So like this, there will
Sure.
be different business
Uh-huh.
process which can be automated using SAP ECC system.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the purpose of this ERP is like automating the business process,
Yeah.
automating the business process.
Uh-huh.
That is point number one. Number one is accelerating the
Uh-huh.
business process. Accelerating the business process. That
Okay.
means speed.
You mean speeding up?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Accelerating the business process. Next one is reduce the
Mhm.
cost of product.
Okay.
Reduce the cost of product by
Uh-huh.
accelerating and
Okay.
automating the business process. So this is the last one is the final important one for a
Okay.
business point of view to uh, gain more profits.
Yeah.
So reduce the cost of the product by accelerating and automating the business process. So these are the
Yeah.
three advantages of ERP, or
Uh-huh.
reverse I can say like that. If a customer is going to implement any ERP package, they are going to
Uh-huh.
expect these three things from that.
Yeah.
So if a customer is going to implement SAP ECC, so they will have
Uh-huh.
three questions. Is it
Uh-huh.
SAP ECC is going to do the automation of business process? Then is it going to do the
Uh-huh.
integration, or is it, and also is it going to do the accelerating?
Uh-huh.
Integration automatically improves increases the speed of the business process.
Okay.
Because once if I do sales, then automatically the
Uh-huh.
stock will be reduced.
Okay.
Okay. Then if say to perform these activities, whatever the example we have discussed down the below.
Uh-huh.
So if a
Mhm.
person is performing this activity on one single day using SAP ECC, he can do this in 1 minute. So since he can
Okay.
complete this 1 minute, rest of the time he can work on some other activities. So in this process, we can reduce the
Okay.
workforce as well.
Uh-huh.
Right? So a company can reduce the workforce, so automatically the cost of
Uh-huh.
the product will be
Mhm.
reduced.
Okay. Yeah.
So objective of SAP ECC system is these three things.
Mhm. Okay.
Any questions?
No, I just want to see that automation process. Like do you have an example? I mean, we'll see in future. I mean, future classes or something like that, or
I
that
want to add
automation.
one point here, Manohar. Like in SAP
Uh-huh.
ECC,
Uh-huh.
we are not going to work at all.
Okay.
We are going to work on only SAP BW system.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So that means whatever this automation, so
Uh-huh.
even I'm not sure how to do this,
Oh, okay.
because we are not going to work
So
on
it's already done. So the data is what we are going to take into our module or something like
exactly. So in SAP
that. Okay.
ECC, the
Uh-huh.
I mean tomorrow I'll explain you who are all going to
Uh-huh.
work in SAP ECC system. Okay,
Okay.
like functional team, basis team, and the end
So
users.
yeah, we don't work on ECC then.
Yeah, we don't work on ECC,
Oh, okay.
but
Then who? Oh, okay. Tomorrow you
yeah,
said you're. I mean.
functional team,
Uh-huh.
basis team, and end users are going to work in SAP ECC system.
Oh, okay. I
So
got you.
entire
Okay.
business data will be there in ACC system,
Uh-huh. Okay.
and that business data will be loaded to BW system.
Got you. So that data will be taken and we will process it and
Load it to BW
present
system.
it at. Okay.
We
Okay.
load it to the
Yeah.
BW system and
Yeah.
make it
You go
available
ahead.
for
Yeah.
reporting.
Uh-huh.
So tomorrow I spent a lot of time today on this, but generally today I want to cover SAP
Uh-huh.
BW. What is the object? I mean, what a BW consultant will do, and
Uh-huh.
tomorrow anyway I'll start that one first. So to just give you
Uh-huh.
an idea, so because SAP BW is not the one which they have introduced by SAP. So in
Okay.
1971 they came up with R1 and we discussed all the way till ECC.
Uh-huh.
And SAP is very
Okay.
famous in this world because of ECC system only. And
Mm-hmm.
as of now, there are 40,000 customers available in the, I mean, who are using SAP. All are using SAP
Mm-hmm.
ECC, 40,000 customers.
Okay.
Okay. And tomorrow I am going to talk about SAP BW. After completion
Uh-huh.
of giving you an idea of about SAP BW, I will come to who are going to work in
Okay.
SAP ECC, who are going to work in SAP BW.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Then you will be clear on uh, what will be our roles and responsibilities as a BW consultant.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
So to take home the points to be noted here is, so the initial
Uh-huh.
software which they have introduced in 1971 is R1 system. Using that, a customer can perform the transactions
Uh-huh.
related to sales
Uh-huh.
and distribution and material management. Next,
Okay. Uh-huh.
that they have came up with different versions of it, and the current version of it is ECC 7.0.
Uh-huh.
Full form of ECC is Enterprise Central Components. So using SAP ECC, as per my knowledge,
Sure. Okay.
using SAP ECC as per my knowledge, minimum 66 business processes can be, uh, 66 business process
Uh-huh.
transactions can be performed using SAP ECC, like sales and distribution, material management,
Okay.
quality management, and
Mm-hmm.
so on. And that can be useful for
Okay.
different industry sectors like finance sector, manufacturing sector,
Okay.
environment,
Uh-huh.
health and safety, retail sector, insurance sector, banking sector. Any
Uh-huh.
sector can use SAP ECC to automate their business process.
Okay.
It is not specific to one business process. So irrespective of business process, anyone can use ECC system to automate their business process. So that is point number
Okay.
2. And point number 3 is, in
Mm-hmm.
a market there are, sorry, point number 3 is
Mm-hmm.
SAP ECC is an ERP package. Full form of
Mm-hmm.
ERP package is Enterprise Resource Planning. So using ERP,
Mm-hmm.
we can automate the business process, accelerate the business process, and we can reduce the cost of the
Uh-huh.
product by accelerating and automating. There are other
Yeah.
ERP packages available in the market like Oracle Apps, JD Edwards, PeopleSoft Siebel. These all together has captured
Mm-hmm.
only 30% of the ERP market. So major share has taken care by SAP ECC. Why these ERP
Okay.
packages are not that famous is because different business processes were
Uh-huh.
not tightly integrated and that is not successful in these packages. Say Oracle
Okay.
apps, they have
Can you,
they
one
tried
second.
integration.
Okay. Okay. One second, Hari. What is the 30% and 70% concept? No, what exactly is it?
Say
Can you just repeat that?
in the current market there are 100 customers using these
Uh,
ERP packages. Out of
uh-huh.
100 customers, 70 customers are using SAP ECC.
Oh, okay,
Only
okay.
30
Yeah.
customers
Oh,
are using all these. I mean together, all together.
okay.
Okay.
Oh,
The reason
yeah.
the
When
reason
you were
be-
telling, your voice was, yeah,
Okay, okay.
go.
The reason was integration was not
Yeah,
successful in these ERP packages. In SAP ECC, it was
sure.
successfully implemented. In Oracle
Yeah.
apps, they
Okay.
tried that integration, but it's not successful.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about
Okay.
only one business process called finance, this is the best one, no doubt about it.
Uh-huh.
Similar way for HR and CRM, there is
Okay.
PeopleSoft and Siebel. Okay.
Okay.
Now, on a bottom
Sure.
line, what say I am a customer. What I am going to do using SAP ECC,
Uh-huh.
I will log into SAP ECC. I will perform my
Mm-hmm.
business transactions. Okay.
Sorry,
So
no,
as a customer,
voice went low.
what I am going to do
Uh-huh.
using SAP ECC, I am going to perform my day-to-day transactions related to different business process in SAP ECC system.
Yep.
Okay. Tomorrow we will discuss about what is this
Yeah.
SAP BW, what will be our roles and responsibilities.
Uh-huh.
Then we will come back
Okay.
to a discussion called who will work in SAP BW, who will work in SAP
Yeah.
ECC system.
Okay.
Then we will be very clear on what will be our role and what we are going to do in SAP BW. Are we going to do something in SAP ECC system? All those things we are
Mm-hmm.
going to discuss.
Sure. Yep. If you don't mind, can you send this Excel sheet to me?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Okay, Manoj, tomorrow at 6 o'clock we'll start. So feel free to provide your
Yeah, sure.
feedback, like if I'm going
Yeah.
fast or if I'm going slow. And sometimes, I mean, everybody will
Uh-huh.
have some expectations. So feel free to provide your feedback
Yeah,
so
sure.
that accordingly we'll move ahead.
Sure.
Okay, Manoj.
Yeah. No, till now it went good. Yeah. No problem. Yeah.
Okay, Manoj. So tomorrow at 6 we'll be. Okay.
Okay, Ari. Yeah.
Yes,
Bye.
thank you.
And this Excel sheet, I'm going to receive it, right?
Yeah, I'll send the recording and also the spreadsheet, this Excel.
Okay, sure.